Bitcoin is currently creating this huge price squeeze and this triangle is about to break out later today, so we are going to see a big move for Bitcoin. In this video I will look at several charts for Bitcoin because I see a lot of interesting formations unfolding. There's a lot of interesting news around the Bitcoin strategic reserve, and also the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETFs are showing a lot of very interesting numbers. There's also a lot of interesting other news which I will discuss with you later in the video. And I will also look at the two altcoins, Vechain and Solana. So you want to watch this video all the way to the end to don't miss anything. Please give this video a like and pump it above 20 likes again, and I will highly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's dive right into the charts. On the 1 hour time frame we can see that Bitcoin is now currently creating this huge price squeeze on the chart. And we can see on the top side a lot of touch points as resistance, and we can see multiple touch points here. And also on the lower side we can see 3 touch points as support, and currently we are at the support level. So let's see if Bitcoin can see a bounce to the top side resistance, maybe even force a break to the top side. And if we're going to see a confirmation of the break, I'm going to wait for a retest of the resistance to test it as support. And if Bitcoin is going to test its bullish retest, then I'm going to aim for the higher side of this formation, because the top side of the formation will be confluent with the breakout target, and that will be around $106,000. So this could be the next bullish move for Bitcoin, but of course there's also a bearish move scenario, and that we're going to see a break below the support, a retest of the support to test it as resistance, and from there we can aim for the lower targets, and the breakdown target will be the lower side of the formation, which will be confluent with the $92,000. So if Bitcoin is going to see this bearish retest, I'm going to enter the market for Bitcoin in a short, and then you can probably aim for this lower side of the formation. So for now, Bitcoin is still in this triangle, and we will most likely see later today a huge break for Bitcoin, or of course we could see it tomorrow. But I expect that Bitcoin is going to see a break today, because most of the times Bitcoin tends to break out before the apex is getting reached. And yesterday we had a very interesting news coming into the market, and a crypto Caesar, David Sachs, says the Bitcoin reserve is one of the first things he will look into. So this is very bullish, of course, and he is leading the crypto management for the Trump administration. And he also said that it's possible that the sovereign wealth fund could decide that they want to make for Bitcoin a digital assets part of its portfolio, according to CNBC. So of course, when America is going to buy the Bitcoin for their strategic reserve, I think a lot of other countries will follow. And it's said that in the coming 80 days, they will decide whether to buy Bitcoin or not. But I think they will buy Bitcoin before that. So 80 days is around 2.5 months. So that could be in April. So I think they will buy a lot of Bitcoin, and this will only pump up the price for Bitcoin enormous. So let's see if they can hold their word, and if they're going to also buy Bitcoin and maybe some other assets as well in the crypto space. And looking at the daily time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is still in this huge horizontal range. Last week we saw a huge rejection again from the topside resistance, because this topside resistance is looking very strong. And on the lower side we can see this huge block of support holding strong as well. So I'm always buying at support, as I'm always saying in my videos, and I'm always selling at resistance. So let's see if we can see another bounce from this support level. And earlier this week we saw a beautiful bounce. So let's see if we can come back to this huge support resistance area on the top side, and maybe even force a break to the top side. So this could be the next big move for Bitcoin, and this would be of course a very bullish move. So for now we are just ranging inside of this horizontal channel, and it could also be that we're going to see just another range for the coming weeks and weeks. And this could be unfolding for the next move, because after a big consolidation we're almost seeing a huge move for Bitcoin. So this is just a huge consolidation before the next move to either the top side or the downside. So let me know in the comments, do you think that Bitcoin will create more topside and eventually break this resistance area, or are we going to see a bearish move and that we're going to break below the support? Personally, I think we will see a break above, because the trend overall is still up on the daily time frame. And yesterday the Bitcoin ETFs had a very bullish day. We saw a $340.7 million of inflow. So this was insane, of course. And we saw that BlackRock was buying again. So BlackRock is leading the market, and they are buying a lot of Bitcoin. So this is bullish, of course, for the Bitcoin ETFs and also for the price of Bitcoin as well. So we are now coming above the $40 billion and we are almost at the $41 billion. So of course this is having a very bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin. And let's see if today can be another bullish day for the Ethereum, for the Bitcoin ETFs. And if we then have a look at the Ethereum ETFs, we can see it's one of the biggest inflows ever into the ETF. BlackRock was buying like crazy. They bought for $276.2 million, and in total we saw a $307.8 million in total flow. So this is of course very bullish for the price of Ethereum, and this is exactly what we want to see for the Ethereum ETFs. And these kind of inflows will pump up the price for Ethereum very hard. And looking at another daily chart for Bitcoin, we can see that Bitcoin broke above this huge resistance area lately. We saw multiple touch points here as resistance, and finally we broke bullish. We retested this support resistance again as support, so this bullish retest was looking very good. We can also see this horizontal level was coming into play, and first we saw a huge resistance here, and later we broke it to the top side just as we broke this trendline resistance. So after that we saw a bullish retest, but later we also fell below this horizontal support again, as we can see here. So for now we are seeing this bullish retest. We came up, but now we are also seeing this bearish retest on the daily time frame, because this horizontal level has been retested now as resistance. So this could also be meaning that we're going to see more downside from here. So we are ranging between this resistance on the top side and this trend line support now on the lower side. So this could be a very interesting way for Bitcoin to see the next move. So we are either going to see a break below this support again, or that we are going to see a break above this resistance area again. And yesterday we had also very interesting post coming in from Senator Cynthia Lummis, and she's leading the subcommittee on digital assets, and she is very pro Bitcoin. So this is looking very bullish, and a lot of bullish news coming into the market. And also the SEC launches its crypto task force. So this is also very interesting news that is hitting the market, because the SEC is finally investigating into Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is going to be regulated, that means that a lot of institutions and maybe states of the United States can buy Bitcoin legally. So this of course would pump up the price for Bitcoin very, very hard. And this is insane, of course. So yeah, this is very great news for the crypto market. And zooming out to the weekly time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is still in this huge bullish flag. We are seeing this bull flag unfolding after we broke out of this first bull flag. We saw a lot of consolidation, then we saw a big rise to the top side, and now we're also creating this bull flag formation. So we are just in this range, as I was discussing earlier with you in this video. So we could also see that Bitcoin is going to range for weeks and weeks, and eventually we will see a huge break to either the top side or the downside, of course. But of course, a bull flag formation is a bullish bias pattern, which tends to break to the top side more often than to the downside. So the chances are bigger that we are going to see a huge bump to the top side, just like we saw in this earlier bull phase. So the trend is your friend until it ends, and currently on the weekly time frame we are seeing a huge bullish trend unfolding. So I think we will see the next impulse to the top side, and this breakout of target of this bull flag formation will be around the $130,000, and that will be around here, because this will be a very interesting target for Bitcoin in the coming weeks. So let me know in the comments, what is your price prediction for Bitcoin in 2025, and do you think we will see it in the first half of 2025? And yesterday we had also news coming in that El Salvador smash buys another 11 Bitcoin, and they bought 20 Bitcoin in 7 days. And yeah, they said that they were just buying 1 Bitcoin per day, but they're now scaling up to more than 11 Bitcoins in 1 day. So in the last 30 days they bought 59 Bitcoin, and they are now holding in total of 6,067 Bitcoin, which is worth more than $602 million. So this is going to be insane. And I think they will just be one of the best countries in South America, especially when other countries are not buying Bitcoin yet. So I think a lot of other small countries should buy Bitcoin, because eventually Bitcoin is the future. And the first altcoin I want to have a look at is Solana. We can see Solana broke down from this huge triangle, which I was discussing in my video of last week about Solana. We saw multiple touch points here on the top side as resistance and also on the lower side as support. Finally we broke down and we saw a beautiful bearish trend unfolding, and currently we are still in this bearish trend with lower lows and lower highs. So of course we can also see this huge resistance trend line is still in play, and if Solana can manage to break this resistance area to the top side, maybe retest it as support, we can maybe aim for higher targets, and this will bring Solana to new highs. And of course, some weeks ago, we created this huge all-time high, which was very bullish. But if we have a look at another daily chart for Solana, we can see that this higher high and this all-time high was not very bullish, because it's just around the same high as we saw at the previous highs. So in the last month, we saw that Solana was in this huge triangle. We finally broke bullish. Then we retested this resistance as support multiple times, and now we are coming again close to this support area. So if Solana is coming to the support area again, I'm going to buy more Solana, because I think this horizontal level will still be a very interesting support level, and I think it will hold strong. And also we can see a little bit of an uptrend unfolding on the chart of Solana with multiple higher lows, and also we can see higher highs unfolding. So eventually on the daily time frame, Solana is still in this bullish momentum to the top side. So we could either see a break to the top side and we break this resistance level, and then we can create a new all-time high. So for now, Solana is also ranging inside of this horizontal range between resistance and on the lower side support. So the next make or break move will be either a break to the top side or a break to the downside. And let me know in the comments if you hold Solana in your portfolio, and do you think Solana will hit the $500 in this bull market? And the next altcoin I want to discuss with you is Vechain. We can see Vechain was in this huge falling wedge formation in the last months. We finally broke bullish, and then we saw the bull market unfolding for Vechain. But of course we want to see higher levels for Vechain unfolding, and these horizontal resistance and support levels are getting respected very carefully. In the past we can see a lot of resistance and support coming into the market at this level. And last week we saw a beautiful big rejection coming into the market. We saw this range unfolding between resistance and support, but now we fell below the support, so I have to paint this level red again, because it's now being turned into resistance. And we can also see that this support is holding strong on the lower side, and every time we come a little bit lower, I'm going to buy more Vechain. And in the past we can see a lot of price action unfolding at this horizontal level, so this is a very interesting level to look at for Vechain. So let's see if Vechain now can bounce up and come back to this resistance area, and it will be the next make or break level. So we could either see a bearish retest, that we're going to retest this previous support as a resistance, and then we come a little bit lower. But of course we want to see this break to the top side, a retest of the resistance to test it as support, and then we can maybe aim for higher targets again, and then we want to see more upside potential for Vechain. So there's also another chart for Vechain which I want to show you. And that's this daily chart with this horizontal support level, which was acting very strong. First we saw resistance coming into the market, we broke it to the top side, and we tested this multiple times as support. But as I'm always saying, the more times we touch a certain level, the weaker it gets. So we finally broke down, we saw a bearish break, so we are going to maybe aim for a bearish retest to test this previous support as resistance, and then we can maybe enter the market for Vechain in a short to hedge your funds. But of course we want to see that Vechain is going to invalidate this break to the downside and maybe force a break to the top side again, and then we want to see more highs for Vechain. But for now it is looking a little bit more bearish than bullish. And let me know in the comments, are you still bullish on Vechain, and what do you think about the future for Vechain in 2025? So again, please like the video if you think it was useful. In the description under this video you can find the link to my Twitter channel and also to my free Telegram group, where I share more in-depth analysis about Bitcoin and other altcoins. Also you can follow me on Twitter, where I share a lot of charts and also very interesting news updates about the market. So with that being said, I hope you liked this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.